Now in this video, we're going to look at how to multiply fractions. And we do have to memorize a rule, which is to multiply straight across and then reduce. There's another way, the order, so we have two steps. One is to multiply straight across, which means the top number times top number, bottom number times the bottom number. But after that, you have to reduce your answer. But there's another option, so the order doesn't matter. So you could reduce the numbers as much as you can and then multiply straight across. So the second method is better when you have bigger numbers. So here I'm going to show you both solutions. So the first solution, you would just go ahead and multiply the top number times top number, 3 times 10, the bottom number times the bottom number, 5 times 9. That gives us 30 over 45. And after that, we have used what we just learned previously, that how to simplify fractions. So you have found what they both have in common, so that they both have 15 in common. So we would divide both of them by 15. So that gives us 2 over 3. Now, if you don't see 15, and the other way you could do is, let's say if you see that both of them have 3 in common, so you could divide both of them by 3 and get 10 over 15. And then 10 to 15, you see they both have 5 in common, so you divide both of them by 5. So that will give you 2 over 3. So instead of doing just one step, you will have to do 2 steps, but both ways are correct. But there's a different solution. So like I said, doesn't matter what you do, there are 2 steps we have to do, whether you multiply and then reduce, or whether you reduce first and then multiply. So the second method is a little easier. You can see I don't have any big numbers. So first I am going to put top times top, bottom times bottom, but I will leave them as 3 times 10, 5 times 9. I'm not going to multiply them out to get 30 over 40, 45. And because this keep them as they are, it actually can help us see what they have in common. So for example, this 3 and a 9, they don't really have to line up as long as you have a top number and a bottom number. So the top 3, bottom 9, they both have 3 in common. So I could divide both of them by 3. So that reduces that 3 to a 1. That reduces 9 to a 3. And then 5 and 10, they both have 5 in common. So I can divide both of them by 5. So that reduces the 5 to a 1, and that reduces that 10 to a 2. So that's how I end up with the 1 times 2, because that 1 comes from that 3, and this 2 comes from that 10. They both reduce the numbers after, And so the multiplication is still between them. And this 1 comes from 5. So 5 reduced to 1, and 9 is reduced to 3. Now, after we reduce all the numbers, now I'm going to multiply 1 and 2 to get 2, 1 times 3 and 3, and you can see we get the same answer. And this way, and we don't have to deal with big numbers like 30 over 45 to figure out what they have in common. I just need to look at a 3 and a 9, what they have in common, 5 and 10, what they have in common. So the second way is relatively easier. And in this example, we have, as we can see, it's multiplication between fractions. So we're going to first multiply straight across 8 times 18, 9 times 24. But after we multiply, notice we get big numbers, and then we have to reduce the big numbers down. And so how did I find 72? We can use the method we did before to break down 144 and to break down 216, and then line up the same numbers and found the greatest common factor, and then you can reduce. So again, if you don't remember how to do that, I can do this a little quick here. How did I find 72? So notice 144 can be broken down as 12 times 12, and 12 can be broken down as, let's say, 2 times 6 and 2 times 6, and 6 can be broken down as 2, 3 and 2, 3. So all these numbers, 2 3s cannot be broken down any further. So we have 144. I'm going to put it down here. Can be broken down as 2 times 2, these 2, and there's another 2, and there's 2 3s. Now, for 216, you can do the same thing. So first I'm going to break down as 2 times half of 216 is 108, because 6 is even, and that means 2 goes in there. So that's how I know I can do 2 times 108. And 108 is still even, so I'm going to take out another 2. And 54 is still even, I can take out another 2. And 27, we know we can break down as 3 times 9, and 9 can be broken down as 3 times 3. So we will have 216 that can be broken down as 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. So after we line them up, as you can see, and they both have a 2 in common, another 2 in common, another 2 in common, a 3 in common, another 3 in common. So when you multiply all of these together, 2, 2, 2, that's 8, 3, 3, that's 9, and that together, that's 72. So that's how we found the GCF, how I know I should divide by 72. But if you don't want to take time to find the GCF, you're going to have to divide. First, you divide both of them by 2 because they're both even, and then divide another 2 because they're both even, still both even, divide by another 2. And when you get here, they're not both even anymore, so 27 is odd. We cannot divide by another 2, but 3 can go into both of them. So, and then if you, after you divide by another 3, you can see you get 2/3, same answer. Okay, but the better way is to reduce the numbers, so you don't end up with the huge numbers like 144 and 216. So when after you multiply straight across, don't multiply them, leave them as they are. Just look for common numbers. So for example, I look at 8 and 9, they don't have anything in common, but 8 and 24, they both have 8 in common, so I could divide both of them by 8. And 8 divided by 8 is 1. So I wrote down this 1 right here. 24 divided by 8, that gives me 3. So that bottom 24 is reduced to 3. Similarly, I can see 9 and 18, they both have 9 in common. So I can divide both of them by 9. So 18 divided by 9 is 2. So 18 is gone. Put 2 here. 9 divided by 9 is 1. So 9 is gone. Put 1 there. And now I have 1 times 2, which is 2, 1 times 3, which is 3. And this way is much better than, much quicker than the first way.